Entrepreneurship can feel very uncertain, but the one thing that gives you a lot of certainty is having lots of followers on social media, lots of emails in your database, lots of people expressing interest. If you would like to generate thousands of warm leads through social media, if you'd like to build your email list, if you want more followers, then I've got 10 tips as to how you can do that. Each week, I generate hundreds, if not thousands, of warm leads through my social media channels without spending a penny. Let me talk about the 10 things that we're doing to get massive engagement. Tip number one is to formalize your ICP, your ideal customer persona. This is what you think of when you think of your perfect customer. So the question that you want to ask yourself is, who has the most to gain from my business? Who gets the highest return on investment? Now, let's imagine that you're a couples therapist. If you were talking to people who are single and have no relationship, they're not going to be interested in couples therapy. If you were talking to a multi-millionaire who was worried about having a divorce, that would be someone who would be very interested in couples therapy. So you're looking for the attributes that make your ideal customer. Now, one of the things I want to warn you against is making these about geography. I want you to move your business towards a geography-free business where you can do business with anyone, anywhere in the world, and they don't have to be in any particular geography. So when you're creating your ideal customer persona, think about what type of person they are, what problem they're trying to solve, and what it's worth to them to solve it. Do not think about whereabouts in the world they are as the primary indicator of your ideal customer. Tip number two, creating signature content. So signature content is the type of content that really outlines who you are, what you do, why it's valuable, what proof you've got. This is the content that if someone reads that content, if they're your ideal customer, they immediately understand what you can do for them. I'm not talking about wishy-washy updates that you might put on social media for a little bit of engagement. I'm talking about some long-form content, maybe 500 words to 1500 words that really spells it out for people. This is where you're going to share with people your methodologies. You're going to share a bit about your background. You're going to talk about your vision for the future. You might talk about case studies and success stories that you've achieved. All of that goes into signature content. So if you're following key people of influence online, you'll notice that they have a book, you'll notice that they might have a long form blog that they have. These are the posts that they might have pinned on their LinkedIn. All of that is signature content. So signature content is much more important than little updates. I want you to perfect at least 5 to 10 pieces of signature content that really spells it out for people. This is who you are. This is what you're all about. Put a stake in the ground. Tip number three, I want you to boost engagement. And there are many things you can do to be boosting engagement to your signature content. So for example, you can direct message people, you can run ads or pay to boost that content. You can have external groups of people who refer back to the content. You can join groups and post that signature content in relevant groups. You can have something called a squadron, a social media squadron, where you've got 5 to 10 people who are all boosting each other's content. You can email your email list about your existing content. Now, if you do any of those things on social media, you're going to tell the algorithm that this is a hot piece of content and it's going to ramp up the organic views that that content receives. So boost the engagement of your content. I know someone who works at a big household name brand and they're a senior person in the marketing department and they have a 1-to-5 ratio. For every 1 hour they spend on content, they spend 5 hours boosting it. For every $1 they spend on content, they spend $5 boosting it. So I want you to think about not just creating great content, but boosting that content as well. Tip number 4 is to improve the call to action. Improving the call to action means that when someone reads your signature content, there is a clear next step that makes total sense as to why they want to do that. So they might read the signature content and then they say, oh, look, there's a webinar. I can join the live webinar. Or there's a quiz, there's an assessment. I can take the assessment to see how well I'm doing relating to that signature content. Or there's a mini course that I can take. So you want to have great calls to action and you want to test at least 4 or 5 different calls to action to see which ones are most effective with your ideal customer persona. Tip number 5 is to personalize. The best thing you can do is to personalize on both their side and your side. So on your side, you personalize through stories and examples that only you could share. They're your stories. Nobody else has those stories because they're totally unique to you. On their side, you personalize through automation. So what you do is you get people to answer quiz questions or survey questions. Based on how they answer those quiz questions, you give people relevant content that is perfectly aligned to where they are in their journey. So by asking questions, you can then personalize the amount of content that people get at each step of the journey. Tip number 6. Make it visual. 70% of the human brain is dedicated to visual processing. We are visual creatures. Unless we can see it, we don't believe it. So a lot of entrepreneurs make the classic mistake of thinking that their customers and potential customers are mind readers, and they're absolutely not mind readers. They have no idea what's in your head. It might be totally clear in your imagination what the product or the service does or what it delivers, but for your customers, unless you can make it visual, they will not believe it. You need a brochure, a landing page, PDF document, a video, an explainer video, an animation, a poster, any of those things to make it visual. What you may think is totally obvious could be completely nuanced in the mind of your client. You've got to make it visual so they can completely understand what you offer. Now on social media, it's completely built for visual. Instagram is visual, YouTube is about video, LinkedIn now has video and image uploads. X has lots of different options for you to put visuals into your tweets. So you can always make it visual. Make sure that you're optimizing for diagrams, for images, any image that represents the outcome you deliver, any image that represents the pain that you solve, any image that represents the obstacle that you remove, get those images into your posts. Tip number 7, crunch the data. On a regular interval, go through and have a look what's working, what's not working. Which ones of your posts got the most likes, the most comments, the most shares, and the most views. Go through and see if you can find the theme to this. You're going to discover that your audience really responds to certain key ideas, key hooks, key pains, key problems, key outcomes, key obstacles that you remove. All of that is going to be contained within the data. You're looking for those clues that tell you what kind of content your audience loves the most. So crunch the data, have someone objective go through it with you, because other people can often see this stuff more clearly than you can because they've got a little bit more emotional distance. Tip number 8 is to make things interactive. Don't just have static posts and videos and tweets and that sort of stuff. Give people things to do. So the best thing that people absolutely love doing is quizzes and assessments. I would really encourage you to have a quiz or an assessment linked to all of your signature content. When someone experiences a piece of signature content and resonates with it, they want to take some sort of an action. Now, a quiz or an assessment is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where if I've read the article, I can say, how does that relate to me and my life? By taking the quiz, by taking the assessment, I'm going to get unique insights that are specific to me. It's going to start to become personalized. So if you want to go step by step on how to create one of those quizzes and assessments, there'll be a link somewhere around here to this book, Scorecard Marketing. This walks you through step by step. It's a very quick little book. It's only 130 pages or so. You can read through and it'll take you through step by step. Once you've created a quiz or an assessment, all of your posts have a link to that assessment as the next step. It's going to be a really powerful way for you to turn attention into engagement and leads and interest and ultimately customer sales. Tip number 9 is to keep following up. Make sure that you show up consistently so that people can see you again and again and again. Google says that people see brands 11 times before they recognize and trust that brand. So make sure that you keep showing up consistently. Post 2, 3, 4 times in a week, because if you post 3 times a week, it's going to take you 1 month for someone to see you 11 times, let's say. If you post once a month, it's going to take you almost a year before people see you. When someone responds to your quiz, make sure that you follow up with your sales process, with your nurture journey, with your content journey after the quiz or the assessment. 44% of entrepreneurs and salespeople stop following up after just 1 contact with a potential client, but 80% of clients require 5 follow-ups before they buy. So there's a gap of 4 follow-up touch points that most people are missing. The vast majority of entrepreneurs are not following up with people enough in order to make the sale. Keep in mind, 80% of people buy after the 5th follow-up. And tip number 10, of course, is leverage artificial intelligence. We have this incredible genius in our pockets. You can ask AI to be a marketing assistant. You can ask it to be a marketing professor. You can ask it for ideas on your marketing campaigns. You can ask it to help you with your ideal customer persona. You can ask it for suggestions as to what kind of quiz or assessment might work. You can ask it for help on your follow-up journey. All of the points we've covered so far can be leveraged through AI. I believe in the future, AI will not necessarily take your job anytime soon, but a business that is using AI will have a pretty good shot at competing with you. So make sure you're the business that's utilizing AI, get used to it, get comfortable with it, start using it in every key interaction to enhance what you do well as a human. Okay, so those are 10 tips as to how you can get more engagement on social media, get more of those people to also signal that they're interested in working with you, and find more of your perfect clients. I hope that's been helpful. One of the things that we did at ScoreApp is we built AI straight into the platform so that you don't even have to have ChatGPT open. It can already guide you towards a really high-performing scorecard. It can guide you towards your next press release. It can tell you how to follow up with each individual lead based on how they answered the questions. There are so many things that you can do inside ScoreApp where AI is doing things for you relevant to the data that you're looking at. So have a think about how you can use AI, not just through ChatGPT, but through some of the tools that we've embedded into ScoreApp as well. If you enjoyed that video, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you soon. Don't forget there are some links below that can help you get some of the resources like a free account to ScoreApp and the book Scorecard Marketing.